But anyway, we have a really good show today. Brittaney's beat, and I'm really interested to see what she has to say about R. Kelly, because, I mean, that whole situation is kind of crazy. And actually, now since I'm thinking about it, we should probably do a group discussion on that, because that's just, there's a lot going on over there. But anyway, the group discussion for today is about saving and investing. So I figured it'd be a really good discussion to have. Stephen actually has some really good experiences related to the topic. And so looking forward to hearing what he has to say about that. But anyway, like I said, we just want to say thanks and just really looking forward to getting the show started. So without further ado, Brittaney, what you talking about?
Hey everyone, this is Brittaney's Beat, running down some of the top stories in entertainment and pop culture. You know that old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire? I'm wondering if that's going to be the case for R. Kelly. A couple weeks ago, I told you about those allegations against him. He's accused of holding 6 women against their will in a cult. Again, an accusation not confirmed. Kelly has denied it, but I ended that week's segment on the note that he had an upcoming tour stop in Dallas, and we'd have to see what happens. Well, it appears Kells won't be taking the stage in the Big D after all. And if you thought you could see him in neighboring cities, you can't. Kelly's tour stops in Dallas, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans have been canceled. He was supposed to perform in Dallas on August 13th. So far, his reps are saying that the shows have been canned due to, quote, unforeseen circumstances. But since this whole cult drama has been playing out like an added chapter to the Trapped in the Closet saga, who knows what unforeseen circumstances really means. Per TMZ, he had low ticket sales, and the site even adds that at one show in Virginia, it was only half full, or, if you're a pessimist, half empty. Kelly had supposedly only canceled a 4th show on the tour, Los Angeles, because of a scheduling conflict. He didn't use the whole unforeseen circumstances bit. If you really want to see him, tickets are still for sale for shows in cities including Atlanta and Memphis. Of course, Atlanta is one of the places where he's been accused of running that cult, so maybe don't let him take you backstage. I'm just kidding. But seriously, don't. From R. Kelly to Keke, actress Keke Palmer is giving us her thoughts on another K, Kylie Jenner. The youngest of the Kardashian-Jenner family came up when Palmer was giving an interview to Yahoo Beauty and started talking about body image and keeping things real when presenting yourself on social media. Palmer started off by talking about the extremes that some people go to appear perfect. She used the Kardashians, saying they operate under I'm going to show you so much perfect and be everything a woman should be or everything a man would like or love. That's a quote from Palmer. Now here's where the specific call out on Jenner came in. Palmer talked about how Kylie grew up on television and people told her she was the ugly one in the family. I only briefly watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians when it first came out, and that was because of my curiosity and wonder about why the show was so popular. In fact, in the beginning, I confused Kim for the former lead singer of the Pussycat Dolls, Nicole Scherzinger. Shows how much I know about the Kardashians and how much I knew about them at the time. I do vaguely remember Kylie, but she was just a kid, 9 years old when the show started, and I don't think anyone would expect her to look like her sisters who were older and obviously much more famous. Well, fast forward to now, she's about to turn 20, and she does look quite different. She's got the lip injections, which she admitted to. In fact, in an interview with Complex magazine, she explained that she'd always felt insecure about her lips, and that self-consciousness stemmed from a kiss she had with a boy in middle school. As for the rest of her body, Jenner says she hasn't had any plastic surgery, but that's not stopping anyone from giving their 2 cents on her looks, including Palmer. Palmer went on to say, quote, that Jenner went and did apparently everything the world deems as beautiful. The even crazier part is that everybody loves her for it. Palmer also added that she can essentially make money off of being fake. She explained that that's why she tries to show her fans who she is with and without makeup and on the good and bad days. I can definitely respect that because as much as we say we should be real, how easy is it to do that, especially online when you're able to craft your image? You can show people whoever you choose to be. So I can appreciate those who go online and lay out how they're feeling that day, especially if what you have to say could help someone else. But the story brought up another angle, plastic surgery. I don't know if Jenner has had it or not, but I started to think about it a couple of different ways. Does it matter if she had surgery? Is it okay as long as she's happy with herself? Or is it wrong because society may have pushed her to do it, which is what it seems Palmer was alluding to. Not necessarily slamming Jenner, but saying the bigger point here is that societal standards have pushed people to change their looks to be a certain way. I think whatever a person chooses to do, make sure you're doing it for you, and that you're happy with whatever the decision is that you made. One of my guilty pleasures is watching plastic surgery shows. I could never bring myself to actually go through a procedure because I've got a low threshold for pain. I even put off getting my wisdom teeth pulled for a year because I wasn't trying to go through that or the recovery. Happy to report it went smoothly. But another reason why I could never do it, there's just nothing I would surgically change. But I always found shows like Botched or other programs really interesting simply because some people get surgery for vanity, others get it for vanity in the beginning, go to a bad doctor, and end up truly needing to be reconstructed. But in the end, those people were happier with themselves, and it seemed like they had some type of confidence boost. I think whatever version of celebrities, or even your own peers that you see online, try not to base yourself off of them. Something I try to remind myself, you don't know that person's story, and you may think you want that person's life until you find out what they went through to get where they are. Then you may not want it anymore. Palmer talks more about being transparent when it comes to her struggles and emotions in her memoir, I Don't Belong to You. And speaking of keeping it 100, a great-grandmother is getting props from the internet for how amazing she looked at her 100th birthday bash, which apparently happened here last month in Houston. But the picture of this great-grandmother is just now blowing up. Forgive me in advance for butchering this woman's name. But Saki Bayo Hampton, I think that's her name, shared the photo of her great-grandmother wearing a white dress, hands on hips, giving all the attitude in the world. And this great-grandmother has her gold jewelry on and she's posing in a power stance. So what I love even more is that Hampton says she and her great-grandmother talked about boyfriends, a conversation where her great-grandmother admitted she had 2 of them. She said, quote, "Just because I'm 100 doesn't mean I don't like men." So aside from her sass, I think what a blessing to have lived this long. And y'all, she looks good. Usually I'm like, okay, calm down on the Twitter hype. So-and-so does not have to win the internet. We do not have to have somebody winning the internet every day. But she legit looks good. It was also a reminder to myself to take care of my body and my health. I don't know what her regime is. The article I saw did not go into that, but if she's got the strength for 2 boyfriends, she must be doing something right. I found this story online in Yahoo Style, so you can check out Hampton's great-grandmother for yourself. That's Brittaney's Beat. Catch you next week.
All right, thanks, Brittany. Up next, we have our group discussion, saving and investing. Stick around, you guys are listening to Medulla Talk. We'll be back.